First came the crash. Airlines, banks, businesses, supermarkets and media organisations were left scrambling.
Hey there, it's Tweon Fitzpatrick with Triple J News.
Thanks to a global technical glitch.
Just like a classic blue screen of death, yeah.
It's kind of hectic, massive lines. A lot of the self-checkouts aren't working.
Airlines were among the worst affected, with delays and cancellations continuing today.
We found the pilot of the flight that would have been our flight. The pilot was unaware that the flight had been cancelled.
I'm a sitting duck just sitting here, not sure whether that next connecting flight will happen. So I'm waiting for my 6 hours. Yeah.
Are you exhausted?
Tired.
Plenty were feeling that.
Taxi drove us around the 3 motels, all booked out, queues up the front, came back and tried to sleep in the chair amongst, 30, 40 other people sleeping on the floor.
Some businesses were forced to close during the outage because it affected payment systems.
Really, we had to tell the customers to go home. A lot of people don't carry cash anymore, so lost a lot of income. Had to send the workers home. But what do you do?
Things slowly came back online this morning.
For now, fingers crossed.
But not everyone's as fortunate.
Metro areas are a more complex setup. There are more computers in more complex networks. In the regions, the networks are simpler, and I think they probably fared better for that reason.
The glitch happened in 2 parts. Microsoft's cloud service was the first to notice something was wrong. Then CrowdStrike, a tech company providing cyber protection to major businesses around the world, issued a software update. But that update had a bug in it, crashing connected Microsoft systems.
I want to start with saying we're deeply sorry for the impact that we've caused to customers, to travelers, to anyone affected by this, including our companies.
I think this has been a sharp wake-up call about the fragility of our digital ecosystem, that we can depend so much on single systems.
It's still too early to determine the economic impact of the crash, and the government warns the threat isn't over yet.
But I ask all Australians to be really cautious over the next few days about attempts to use this for scamming or phishing.
This IT business is expecting a jump in demand in coming days.
People want to be reassured that their computer is safe.
Lucky it's now back online to help. Natalie Whiting, ABC News.
The flow and effects of the IT outage are still being felt globally, despite many systems and services coming back online. Worldwide travel, healthcare, banking and retail were all hit by extended technical issues.
That screen is not normal.
It was a single blue screen that sparked a day of disruptions. The Northern Hemisphere waking to news of the unprecedented outage.
Massive tech outages are impacting airlines, businesses, offices.
Tens of thousands of flights were delayed or cancelled worldwide. In the US, planes were banned from taking off for several hours.
No, I think I'm going to be screwed pretty much, yes.
I'm going to my family reunion, so I'm anxious.
Passengers swapped boarding passes for blankets in Minnesota as they settled in for an extended wait. From Spain to Germany, India to Hong Kong, airlines struggled to fend off growing irritation as passengers waited in long queues for hours.
I'm frustrated. People keep cutting in the queues.
The timing couldn't have been worse in the UK. It was the busiest day for departures since the start of the COVID pandemic.
We've had to revert back to pen and paper, basically, and manually check each of our customers in.
The outage also hit healthcare services. Hospitals in multiple countries were forced to cancel planned operations. In England, only the most urgent cases were treated.
Due to the global IT issues, we're going to need to cancel your appointments.
After doctors were prevented from accessing medical records.
With the world more interconnected and reliant on automation than ever before, this global IT outage is a reminder just how vulnerable we are when those systems fail.
People think it's progress, but if something like this fails, then everyone's stuck.
What'll be important is to make sure that we better manage such crises in future.
The software bug may now be fixed, but unpicking the global consequences could take some time. Michelle Rimmer, ABC News, London.
With so many systems crippled and companies impacted, the big question was exactly what went wrong. The ABC's national technology reporter Angela Pierre explains.
Yesterday's unprecedented outage boils down to knock-on effects. They don't call it the web for nothing. 2 systems broke on the same day. The first was with Microsoft and its cloud service Azure, which has a 25% global market share. The second was with CrowdStrike, a cybersecurity provider to almost 18% of the market. Both crucial, both broken, and both tangled up with the world's tech infrastructure. Around 7 a.m, Microsoft reported problems with its cloud. So when all hell broke loose 8 hours later, that's where the finger was pointing. But it looks like the trigger for the real chaos came from CrowdStrike. A bug in its software update, which was rolled out globally, crashed Windows systems and everything they touched, dramatically compounding the smaller problems that had been there all day. CrowdStrike rolled out a fix yesterday afternoon, in which case, why are so many systems still down? The short answer is those knock-on effects. When a computer crashes, it can cause problems for the computers that rely on it and the others that rely on them. Fixing the first problem helps, but the new problems need their own fix. A manual reboot or repair from an IT professional who may or may not have gone home for the weekend.
As computers slowly recover, many are asking how one small bug could cause so much chaos. What is the cybersecurity firm CrowdStrike, and what will a major mishap like this have on its future?
Got this.
Protecting your business from cyber attacks can be unrelenting.
They market themselves as the sheriffs of the cyber world, able to sniff out problems before they happen.
We stop cyber attacks. We stop breaches. We stop a lot of bad things from happening. CrowdStrike, protection that powers you.
Now the US-based cybersecurity firm has accepted responsibility for the largest IT outage in history.
CrowdStrike is the gold standard for not just software companies, but overall tech companies. I think one of the best tech companies well regarded in the world before this black eye incident.
Founded in Texas in 2012, CrowdStrike provides online security to 20,000 companies around the world.
Most people in Australia have never heard of these companies, even though they might be interacting with them every day. And that's because they're really run by the IT departments of these large organizations, and they're pretty invisible to the end user.
But overnight, it became a household name, and as a consequence, their stock price fell by around 15%.
Competition's going to go after that. I mean, they could lose, we believe 2 to 3% of their customer base.
CEO and race car driver George Kurtz is looking to steer the firm out of crisis.
So, Mike?
Alongside his Melbourne-born global president, Michael Sentonis. This is not the first time the company has found itself in the headlines. In 2016, CrowdStrike helped determine that Russian agents had attempted to interfere in the US election, sparking discredited conspiracy theories that the firm was involved in a plot to undermine Donald Trump. How it responds to this global mess, though, could determine its future in the cybersecurity world. Ethan Ricks, ABC News.